I guess it all started long before I knew it had. I'm 33 now, but I've been the reliable one since I was 10. That's when my dad got laid off the first time. No one said it outright, but I felt it, the tension, the shift, the way the grocery bags got lighter and the way my mom's voice got tighter. By 13, I had my first job, stocking shelves at the corner store under the table. By 16, I was helping cover the electric bill. When other kids were out skating or playing Xbox, I was calculating how to stretch $100 over 2 weeks of gas and groceries. No one asked me to, no one had to. My younger brother Kyle? He was the golden boy, dreamy, creative, full of potential. Their words, not mine. I bought him his first laptop, paid for his driving lessons. When he got into trouble in college, twice, guess who wired the money for his legal fees? Mom called me her rock. Dad said I was dependable, but behind all the praise was the same unspoken truth. I wasn't a person to them, I was a solution. After high school, I didn't go far, couldn't, someone had to stay close. I took online classes part-time, worked full-time in IT, and made sure the rent was covered when Mom's hours got cut. I signed on to co-sign Kyle's lease when he couldn't get one. When Dad needed a root canal, I handed over my entire emergency fund without blinking. Every holiday, every family event, I paid, flights, hotels, dinners, quietly, without drama. When Kyle launched his YouTube channel, I bought him a camera and set up his website. When Mom wanted to update the kitchen, I took out a personal loan. They never said thank you, not really, they just expected it, and I gave until there was nothing left of me that wasn't tied to someone else's need. But I told myself it was love. That's what love is, right? Sacrifice? Right? It was Kyle's birthday dinner, fancy Italian spot downtown, white tablecloths, dim lights, a wine list I couldn't pronounce. I'd made the reservation, paid the deposit, and even picked up the tab for Mom's new dress because she'd had a rough month. Same story, different day. Kyle strolled in wearing designer sneakers and a limited edition jacket. A gift, he said, grinning, from a friend. Dad clapped him on the back like he'd just closed $1 million deal. Mom beamed. He's really coming into his own, isn't he? I smiled, nodded, cut into my salmon like it was the only thing keeping me grounded. Throughout dinner, they passed compliments around the table like champagne, all for each other. Mom praised Kyle's ambition, Dad admired his vision. At one point, Kyle pulled out his phone to show them something and I caught a glimpse of a notification. Bank app, maybe? A figure I couldn't unsee, too big to ignore. Then, as dessert arrived, Mom turned to me with a soft smile. And you, sweetheart? Thank you, for always being our steady hand. We're so lucky to have you. I nodded again, said nothing. The words had lost all weight. On the ride home, I couldn't shake the tightness in my chest. Something was wrong, not just the usual imbalance, but something deeper, hidden. At home, I logged into my bank account. The screen loaded slower than usual. My heart knew before my eyes did. Balance, $78. 14, gone, everything, the emergency fund, the vacation savings, even the separate account I never told anyone about, or thought I hadn't. I stared at the screen, blinking, no calls, no texts, just silence, and suddenly, dinner made sense. I barely slept that night. At first, I thought it had to be a glitch, some weird banking error, maybe a delayed transfer. By 6 a.m., I was on the phone with the bank. The hold music felt like a countdown to something I didn't want to face. Sir, the woman finally said, her voice too calm for what she was about to tell me, your balance was moved to the linked family trust account under your authorization. What trust account? I asked. There was a pause, a too long pause. It was opened last fall. Your name is listed as co-signer, along with your parents and brother. I sat there frozen, the coffee in my hand going cold. I never signed anything, I said quietly. We have a digital signature and IP confirmation. You can dispute it, of course, dispute it, as if this was some clerical error, not my family stealing years of my life. I requested the document. 10 minutes later, it hit my inbox. The signature looked close enough if you weren't looking, but I knew every tilt of my own handwriting. This was fake. I called my parents. Hey, sweetheart, Mom answered like nothing was wrong. I just got off the phone with the bank. I said, where's my money? A beat of silence, then, we put it somewhere safe, safe? It's a trust, honey, for the family, for Kyle's future, for all of us. You forged my name. That's dramatic, Dad chimed in. You always said you wanted to help, you've always been the responsible one, this is your part. My mouth opened but nothing came out. This wasn't a misunderstanding, it was a decision, a coordinated one, a slow, methodical betrayal wrapped in calm voices and polite reasoning. The floor under my life had just cracked wide open, and I was still falling. A friend sent me a screenshot from Facebook, a picture of me with Kyle, clearly years old, with the caption, "So proud of my big brother, his success made it possible for me to follow my dream, thank you for funding my education and believing in me when no one else did." Underneath, dozens of comments, heart emojis, words like inspirational, what a role model, family goals. I felt sick. I hadn't funded his education. I thought he had a scholarship. I didn't even know he had a public page, or that I did. That night, I dug deeper, searched my name. There it was, an entire social media persona I never created, Michael the mentor, photos of me at work events, quotes I never said, a fake LinkedIn filled with buzzwords like angel investor and philanthropist, posts written in my voice but dripping with exaggeration. One even claimed I'd gladly contributed $50,000 toward a family mental health retreat. Then I found the GoFundMe banner image, me and Kyle, cropped awkwardly from an old Thanksgiving photo, title, Help Kyle Recover After His Setback, a story of resilience and brotherhood. The page had raised over $18,000, nearly all from distant relatives, church contacts, and even former classmates. My name was listed as the top donor, $5,000, anonymous, but with a comment, anything for family. I hadn't written that, I hadn't donated anything. This wasn't just theft, this was identity theft, emotional, public, complete. They hadn't just taken my money, they'd rewritten me into a story where I was happy to lose it. I started saving screenshots, every post, every caption, every false statement. I downloaded the GoFundMe archive, pulled IP logs from my accounts, emailed the platforms. They painted me as a hero to mask what they were doing behind the scenes. I went live on a quiet Sunday evening. No intro music, no flashy graphics, just me, sitting at my desk with my face lit by the glow of my screen. This isn't for attention, I began, this is for the truth. Then I started showing everything, account statements with unauthorized transfers, forged digital signatures, screenshots of the fake social posts, even a clipped voicemail where Mom calmly said, "We all agreed it was your role." The chat blew up. "This is insane, dude, your family scammed you. That GoFundMe? I donated to that." When I pulled up the fake quote under my name, anything for family, someone wrote, "They stole your voice." Then came the message that froze me. "I always knew something was off. I'm Kyle's ex-fiancé. He used your money to buy an engagement ring while dating 2 girls. I'm so sorry." I kept going, call logs, IP addresses, metadata, piece by piece. I dismantled their carefully curated fiction. By the time I ended the stream, over 9,000 people were watching, some begging for updates, others offering lawyers. I looked into the camera one last time. "I'm not doing this to ruin them," I said. "I'm doing this to reclaim myself. Silence isn't love, and survival isn't selfish." Then I clicked end stream. They didn't apologize, of course they didn't. Instead, the morning after the stream, I got a long text from Dad. "You humiliated your own family. Hope it was worth it." An hour later, Kyle posted a video calling it an emotional misunderstanding. Mom called crying, asking me to take everything down, for your brother's job, for our name. Then came the threats, a cease and desist letter from some discount attorney, accusing me of defamation. I forwarded it to my lawyer. "Interesting," she said, "because here's our lawsuit, theft, fraud, forgery, and damages." I posted a final public update, screenshots, timeline, legal documents, no commentary, just facts. It went viral. The hashtag #TrustNoFamily started trending. Thousands of strangers shared similar stories. A local podcast picked it up, then a news outlet. Donations poured into my legal fund, offers of help, support, even therapy. Eventually, the court ruled in my favor, full financial restitution. Kyle lost his job, my parents stopped responding. I got justice, but not a single apology, and strangely, that made it easier to walk away. I changed everything, new city, new name, new number no one had, I work remote now, freelance cybersecurity, just enough to live simply. My apartment is small but mine, quiet mornings, clean air, no explanations owed, the messages still come, from Mom, Kyle, once, even a cousin I barely knew, I don't open them, freedom isn't loud, it's silence that finally belongs to you. Yesterday, I sat on the beach, phone left behind, just wind, waves, and my breath, for the first time in my life, no one needed me, and that was enough.